Community Culture Unveiled, uncovering and discussing the secrets of mental health in oppressed communities. Hosted by a girl for all girls.
So my history is very volatile, which then shaped my personality. It shaped the choices that I make. It shapes my impulsivity. It shapes my trust and my isolation and all those things that were affected because of growing up in a certain volatile neighborhood and or community. Nobody really had expectations for me. My family didn't have expectations. Matter of fact, I remember my mother and my grandmother told me I wasn't going to be nothing. I wasn't going to have nothing, and I was going to be on drugs. And every time I say that, it brings me emotion, right? So to think that I'm here, one of the reasons why I'm here is that because I have a real attachment to overcoming difficulty. Okay, so I have to take a second because every time I hit that note, I know it's still something to really overcome for me.
My mom was a single mom. I never saw her with any man at any time, even my father. My father was presently around, but not presently around. So that means that he lived in the state of Cleveland, but he was not there. So I barely saw him. So I don't really know my father. I don't know a lot about him. And so I grew up always thinking that women should be strong. And that's the mindset that I kept. I always seen my grandmother, my mom, aunties, family members. A lot of them always had that single parent household. So I thought that that was the way that things should be.
I did come from a two-parent household. Unfortunately, that household was riddled with domestic violence, drug abuse, alcohol abuse. So as a result of that, I didn't necessarily have a whole lot to look forward to. My mom was there, but she had to undergo a whole lot of domestic violence at the hands of my father. He was an alcoholic. She too became an alcoholic as a result. My mother and father, they were 22 years apart, so he was definitely older than her. And as a result of that, she looked up to him for a lot of different reasons. And as a result of that, I just didn't have a lot of respect for marriage. And I definitely did not have a whole lot of guidance growing up.
But when I was around 9 years old, we moved to an area that was all white. They threatened to burn down our home. And, we would eventually, began to play with the other children there. And one minute we're cool, we're having fun. The next minute they're calling my sister and I niggers. And it's a beautiful hot day outside and we're playing and they want to go get in the pool. And so the white girls, they invite each other to go get in their pool, but my sister and I couldn't come because we were Black, right? So this is the type of thing that marked my experience. And growing up family-wise, I was reared in a single parent family. My mom and dad, they separated when I was about 3 years old, so I was quite young. And I think for me, that was very pertinent. And so although my mom and dad separated, my dad was always in my life. I lived with my mom as a single parent, but my dad was always there. He was always there, and he poured into my sister and I as best he could from not being in the home. Although I know I always kind of kept the candle burning in my heart for the possibility of mom and dad to reunite. And I had 3 children with my first husband, and I was pregnant with our 3rd child when he left. And that was a whole story. So, when you kind of talk about, Sister Teresa, we talk about overcoming difficulty. That I would have to say was the most profoundly difficult period of my life.
As you can see, we didn't just wake up and decide to do a show. These are real women with real journeys that are really connected to what it is we say we want to do. I mean, we have psychologists, we have clinical therapists, we have students, we have business owners. We are real women that have a real message trying to help real people but we're going to be talking about real solutions because we do,
Correct.
being a psychotherapist, we have our psychologists, we have someone studying, I believe, in therapy, and just being Black, you have your own remedies on how to cope and how to successfully move through life. We're going to be talking about what that looks like to help us heal as a community so we can stop hurt people, hurt others. I know it's a cliche people keep saying, but you
real.
can see it in our community where I'm hurt, everybody gonna hurt. I'm going
That's
down,
right.
everybody going down. So
Right.
just learning how to move past this level and operate on this level. And we have to get to a point that we operate at such a high vibration that we influence the negative vibration amongst us. It just starts with you. So when you take charge of you and you take charge of your pain and you let out the pain, then you start putting the pieces and rebuilding yourself back together with the tools we're going to try to offer you, along with whatever other treatments and options you have at your disposal. We plan on rebuilding these communities one person at a time, one sister at a time, and we is never going to leave out that Black man because we know he is essential.
That's
right. For our families. And we are hurting. We are hurting as Black women in the absence of Black men. And that is a part of our struggle. It is a part of our pain. But how do we bring him back? How do we still love him? How do we still love ourselves? All of that we're going to get along on the show. And how do we even get along with each other as Black women? Because our relationships with our mothers are so poor, a lot of us, that we don't even trust other Black women. So I look forward to giving you some of that, what we have, whatever we can have, they can help you. But I look forward most definitely from learning from everybody out there, whatever you all have to offer. So
brothers, anybody, family members, if you know anyone that needs this show and it's necessary, tell them to tune in.